Here we have the statements P, you are 17, and Q, you are eligible to vote, where what we want to do is express the statement P implies not Q, that is, if P, then not Q, along with its contrapositive, converse, and inverse. So we've got our statements up there, we've got our pieces up there. The first thing we want to do is find the original statement, which has the form P implies not Q. Here, that would be if you are 17, then you are not eligible to vote. Pretty straightforward statement. The voting age is 18 in America. So I guess maybe you should be a little bit more specific to make sure that this is true, but it's certainly true for our circumstances. Then, what we're going to do is make the contrapositive of this, where to get the contrapositive, we flip the two terms and negate each. If we negate Q twice, we get Q implies not P. Where here, that means we start with if you are not eligible to vote, or that is if you are eligible to vote, excuse me. Got too many of these knots floating around, I'm going to lose track of them. But if you are eligible to vote, then you are not 17. So with this case, as we'll see a fair amount, the original statement made good sense, is pretty direct. Because we're flipping so much around, the contrapositive is one of those things where you're like, yeah, that's true, but you really kind of wish that it was written in a cleaner way. This is true, but there are probably better conditions to show someone isn't 17 than eligibility to vote, not least of which it doesn't actually describe that much. But it is technically true. Next, we have the converse, where for the converse, remember what we're doing is just flipping our two components. So we get if not Q, then P, where this can be read as if you are not eligible to vote, then you are 17. Again, cases work, but it's not really true generally. So converse gets us into even muddier waters as far as the truth value goes, but that's what it would look like in this case, where our last piece is the inverse. Where again, remember when we take an inverse, all we're doing is looking from our original piece and flipping the truth value on each part around. So we would get if not P, then Q. Or notice again, these are contrapositives of each other. Where this gets us a really murky and not very useful and certainly not true statement that if you are not 17, then you are eligible to vote. So these last two, there are lots of people that aren't eligible to vote who are also not 17, convicted felons for a basic example. On the other hand, if you are not 17, then you are eligible to vote isn't true because there are a lot of people who are younger than 17 that can't vote. And also there are, if you want to connect the two, a lot of felons that are also not 17 and also not eligible to vote. But again, big thing here is remembering these two, converse and inverse, are equivalent. These two, original and contrapositive, are equivalent, but generally you can't get a whole lot about the four of them all at once.